Alright, Righteous Redneck here. I wanted to get on here and I wanted to talk motor oil. It's a topic that I love to look into on YouTube and do my analysis and my study, because I'm one of those guys. I want my vehicles to last as long as possible. I'm former GM certified as a salesman, and whenever you purchase a car brand new, I don't recommend anybody ever do that for the sheer depreciation value. When you put money into a brand new vehicle, you got to understand depreciation. When you drive that car off the lot, it depreciates. For example, if you buy a Escalade, okay, sometimes that's a $90,000 vehicle for the Platinum Edition, right? I can remember selling a black one that was $91,000, fully loaded, decked out, and when the person drove it off the lot, I think it immediately depreciated down to around $75,000. Immediate depreciation. Okay, Chrysler vehicles are very, very bad in their depreciation values. Very, very bad. So always take that to account. You can get a vehicle that's the engine's not even broken in. You know, buy a vehicle that's got 2 years on it, and you'll be perfectly fine. You'll be perfectly fine, and you'll save a whole lot of money. So anyway, let's get into our oil discussion. There's a number of different motor oils. We all know this. First thing I want to say is that if you take your car or truck to have the oil changed, you're really doing yourself an injustice. And I say that because you don't really know what's being done unless you know someone that works at the shop or you're watching them do the work yourself. You don't know what kind of filter that they've put on. And in many cases, I've done oil changes for people and the filter is not even the right size. You have a filter flange that sticks out, and the filter will actually go up inside and not even match up with the outer part of the flange, because these quick lube places have used a smaller filter. Just something that they could find that would screw on, do the job, probably not as effectively as possible because it's too small. But anyway, you never really know what's being done. So let me open this door here. Kind of windy here in Southeast Texas today. Get some wind in my, or sunlight going in my shop here. But anyway, you have a number of different oils available. And I want to talk about some of these different oils. Let me hit pause here. You have a number of different oils that are available, okay? Different brands. And I'm not here to knock any particular brand. All the oils that you find in a store have an API rating, basically meaning that they're acceptable. They'll do the job of cleaning your engine, so on and so forth. When you go on YouTube, you're going to see all different kind of videos. If you pull up a video on, say for example, Royal Purple, normally it's Royal Purple destroying the competition, right? It's always somebody marketing. It's almost a fanboy type of thing where they're saying, this is what I use, and it kicks the crap out of everything you use. It's sometimes fake analysis. And then you have guys that will put out a video comparing one oil to the next and giving you somewhat giving you some proof of what's the best and what performs better. And normally it's under cold conditions, something I do not understand. We don't all live in Alaska. Show me heat comparisons. I want to know how well an oil holds up under heat and stress. That's what an engine does, right? An engine gets hot. I'm not all concerned too much with the cold flow. I live in Southeast Texas. If it gets 40 degrees, to us, that's freezing. So, and it's an important thing. You want your motor oil, especially your synthetics, to be able to flow in cold conditions. That's what it's designed to do. But it's also designed to better withstand heat and provide better protection for your vehicle. So let's run through some different motor oils, mainly synthetics today, because most vehicles are running synthetic motor oil. If you have an older vehicle that is running regular conventional, just continue to run that regular conventional. I don't recommend putting synthetic in a older car for the simple fact that if you don't have any leaks, putting synthetic can cause a leak because the microns within the oil are much smaller. Synthetic oil starting from a crude base oil, refined in a lab, and made into something with a better lubrication value, smaller microns, that basically the oil has a more slippery consistency. It will slip past something where the conventional oil may not. So keep that in mind with an older vehicle. Anything using synthetic, you can use whatever you want to use. There are plenty of good synthetic motor oils out there. I will tell you my personal pick and why here in just a little bit. But let's run through some of the different brands. First of all, let's talk about Valvoline SynPower. Valvoline is a very good oil. Their Max Life oil is a partial synthetic. It's not a full synthetic, but it is a very, very good motor oil. I would recommend it to anybody. You don't see a whole lot of marketing for Valvoline anymore, not to say that they've fallen off or anything like that. I believe Valvoline was the very first motor oil brand. I'm 95% certain of that. A good oil. Moving on to, let's say, Quaker State. Quaker State and Pennzoil, basically, owned by the same corporation. They've kind of fallen off. Quaker State has. I do believe their conventional is perfectly fine for an older vehicle. Going to provide good protection. Not something I personally would use. I would use Pennzoil yellow bottle. And here we go again. Somebody out there, Pennzoil causes sludge. No, they had issues in the past. Pennzoil is and has been one of the number one selling motor oils for a long time. Total sales, I would say they've kicked the crap out of everybody. And you can go and you can study and look at that for yourself. They had some paraffin wax issues in the past. And a lot of motor oil brands, whether people know it or not, use some wax-based form of lubrication in different forms. None of us really know what all in this stuff unless we have it sent to a lab and analyzed. But anyway, I believe that's total crap. Pennzoil is run, their synthetics are run in Ferraris. They are run by Team Penske in NASCAR and in IndyCar. Okay, Pennzoil actually works with them to create their own formulation for the demands of racing. And Joey Logano happens to be the champion of NASCAR. So, you don't see his engines blowing up too often now, do you? I believe in Pennzoil products. I believe if I'm going to run conventional in anything, I'm running Pennzoil. That's it. Castrol, been around for a while, long time now. Very solid motor oil. The thing that I personally do not like about Castrol is that out of the bottle, it is one of the darker oils. And not taken away from its lubricating properties, because your color of your oil is based and dependent on what they put into it, the additive package. So Pennzoil, one of the reasons why I like it so much is because it is the cleanest, most golden looking oil out of the bottle that you're going to find, period. So whenever it begins to turn dark, you can clearly tell, hey, this stuff is starting to darken a little bit, and it just helps you to hold yourself accountable. With synthetic, I change my oil every 4,000 miles. And people out there I know right now are saying, you're crazy, you're wasting your money. No, listen, the best oil is clean oil. The best oil that you can have in your car, truck, SUV is clean oil. Just because an oil, listen to me very, very carefully, just because something is designed to last a certain amount of time does not mean that you have to or should leave it in your vehicle for that amount of time. Annual protection by Mobil 1. Let's talk about Mobil 1. Why would you ever, unless you drive your car 2,000 miles a year and you're 97 years old, why would you leave your oil in a vehicle for that amount of time? To me, that's cheap. To me, that's lazy. They're selling to the people that love the convenience. Do your own oil changes. First of all, you will save yourself a ton of money. And you'll have the assurance in your mind that, hey, this was done right. I know what is on my car. I know what's in my engine. Just have that peace of mind. It's easy enough to do. Mobil 1, getting back on them, a very, very good oil. No doubt about it, involved in racing. They've done several tests. They did the test with the New York taxi cabs where they ran them 1,000,000 miles, pulled them apart. And but who's to say that any of that, I'm not going to say that they were lying, but I'm saying, I want to hear from the common Joe, I don't want to hear from Mobil 1 themselves saying our product is the best, because obviously they're going to say that, right? Coca-Cola's better than Pepsi. Pepsi's better than Coke. They're going to market their own product as being the best. That's just the way that companies work, right? So, Mobil 1's a great oil. I do think that there's a lot of fanboys out there that think that it's just above and beyond anything and everything, and I truly don't believe that. There's been many tests that have proven that the Pennzoil Ultra Platinum and even Platinum outperform Mobil 1 or are equal to it. Okay? I think they're neck and neck. I don't think one's better than the other. That's just my opinion. Royal Purple, I think it's overpriced. I do think that it's a very, very solid, very good motor oil. I don't like the dark color. I don't like the fact that it's purple. When I pull my dipstick, I don't want to look at something that's dark, that's already been in my car for 1,000 miles. I want to pull the dipstick and I want to see some clarity. I want to be able to tell how dirty looking the oil is getting. So that's why I run Pennzoil Platinum. I would run Ultra Platinum, but it sells out so quick because it's so good that it's really hard to find where I live. So, but yeah, the most important thing, change your motor oil in any vehicle. I honestly would not go more than 5,000 miles on synthetic. It does begin to break down. Any oil will, regardless of what type it is. I think that, one second. I think that if you change it more often, it's going to add more life to your vehicle. Get some of your money's worth, definitely by going more than 3,000 miles on synthetic. I go 4 because it's, to me, if you go to Walmart, and that's truly the best place to buy motor oil, in my opinion, you go to O'Reilly's or one of your auto parts places, the prices are jacked up. They just are. And that's for the convenience. You pull up, you run in, you get it, you run out. Walmart, you got to walk in there a little bit further and grab your stuff and stand in a little bit of a line, but hey, you're saving yourself some money. And for a while, the auto parts places were carrying 4-quart jugs that looked almost identical to the 5-quart jugs that you get at Walmart. And now everything is pretty much 5-quart everywhere. So clean oil is the best oil. Change it regularly. Make sure you're using a quality filter with synthetic oil. Wix XP, I love Wix filters. Napa Gold filter, pretty much the same thing. The Wix XP filter I like because it uses a true synthetic medium. Okay, the actual material is a synthetic medium. It's gonna filter better, keep more out of the engine. So I'm a firm believer in the Wix filters. I like the STP. I've got some here. The XTP Extended Life, great filters too. They use a silicone anti-drain back valve. All of that is really constructed well. And to my knowledge, I think it's got a full synthetic medium too on the STP filters. I'll have to research that some more. Just says high efficiency media. So I assume it probably is a full synthetic media on the STP Extended Life filters. And I can show you what the boxes look like, a yellow box. All right. But for the most part, I use Wix XP. So yeah, just don't take my word for it. You know, do your own research. But you can't go wrong with Pennzoil. You know, and I didn't really knock a whole lot of brands here talking about oil. I just told you what I think about them. Castrol, a great oil. Valvoline, a great oil. Mobil One, great. I just like Pennzoil. I just like Pennzoil. I've heard a lot of great things about it, done a lot of research personally about it. They use it in NASCAR. They use it in Indy, as they do other oils as well. But, you know, that's just my pick. But the most important thing is to keep your oil clean and change it on a regular basis. Make sure you're using a good filter as well. Doesn't do any justice to your engine to run a great engine oil with a piece of crap filter. Fram, for example, I hate Fram filters. There are some nightmare stories out there about their filters. Look at the way that they're constructed. Just not a fan. And that's just me. You might have a different opinion. One tip that I will give you on your oil changes, there's a product that's been out for a long time. They used to run this stuff in tanks back in World War II. Marvel Mystery Oil. Now, a lot of people will run this straight in their fuel as a fuel injector cleaner. Now, I will tell you from experience, okay, this stuff is such a great cleaner, such a great solvent, that it can deteriorate the inner linings of your catalytic converters. Yeah, I had a catalytic converter go out on my Toyota Corolla, okay, at 85,000, maybe 90,000 miles, just after the warranty went out on it. Wouldn't you know, $900 later, whole brand new exhaust. But I'm not gonna knock the product and say that this is what did it. But it's a strong possibility. This stuff is a very good solvent. Now, you can run it in your fuel. My problem was I was running it all the time. And it's such a great cleaner that you don't need to do that. Use it once a month. That's perfectly fine. I was using it like every fill up. Big mistake. but that's life. You learn from your mistakes, right? So maybe it was the Marvel, maybe it was not the Marvel. I'm not going to use it in my fuel anymore. I've gone back to my Lucas. But anyway, with your oil change, okay, this stuff, as I say, is a tremendous, tremendous cleaner, okay? What I do, people will run this with an oil change. This stuff will thin out your oil, okay? You don't want that. But, as I said, it's a tremendous cleaner, okay? It's a tremendous solvent. So what I do when I'm about 500 miles before an oil change, I will drain out a quart of oil, and I will replace it with a quart of this. Go my 500 miles, change it. You know, all fresh oil. This stuff will clean the crap out of your engine, okay? And it will make the oil flow out better when you do your oil change. This stuff right here will clean the internals of your engine like nothing else, okay? Trust me on that. This product's been around for a long time, and it's proven. One thing I will say, any kind of nuts, bolts, anything that you need to lubricate, you can see I got a big jar of this stuff, okay? I believe in it. And, you know, I lubricate locks, things around the house, things around the yard, tools that need to be lubricated, things like that. It's got kind of a wintergreen smell to it too, so some people like the smell, some people don't. I like it personally, but the thing about it is, if you are rebuilding an engine and you need something to clean the metal parts with, that stuff right there, you let it soak in that Marvel, it will clean the crap out of it. It will degrease, it'll do a tremendous job for you. So just think about doing this Marvel thing that I spoke about on your next oil change. I promise you, when you go to pull your oil plug, you're going to see a difference. It will flow out. It will be black as coal. It's going to do some great cleaning within your engine. So, been talking almost 25 minutes on oil. If you have any questions, any comments, hey, shoot them to me, man. We can debate a little bit, and maybe not debate, but we can throw some different opinions around. I love to talk about it. So anyways, you guys can catch me for my live stream each and every week. You can send me your questions to righteousredneck777 at yahoo.com. I'll answer your questions in my next live stream. And as always, I post my videos. We talk about NASCAR in my live streams, God, religion, daily living, Texas Longhorns football, Dallas Cowboys football, professional wrestling, whatever somebody throws at me. I'm a fan of different things, you know. Car maintenance, any issues, anything you want to discuss, we can discuss it. And I'll try to lead you in the right direction. So, as always, any new subscribers, you know, would be great. I appreciate you guys subscribing. Click on the bell to the right to be notified of all my future videos when I go live, so on and so forth. But I appreciate you guys watching. Any comments, just put them below, and I will get back with you. You guys have an awesome day.